Greetings. I'm back out on the tramp, and this strip rail has been nagging me for a while, so I've decided to try this little corner spot here and see if I can come up with some way to make it better. I used the shrinker stretcher and my homemade sheet metal brake to make the corner of the drip rail, the curved, marking out where we want to cut it out. I'll be using the power hacksaw. It's a rather noisy piece of equipment, and as soon as I find my earmuffs, we'll get going on it. The object I'm going to try to accomplish here is to cut it off right at the 90-degree bend and leave the lower portion intact. My plan is to get this to fit, and then I'm going to spot weld it into place. If all goes according to plan, there should be no distortion and no welds to grind, and it'll just be a real fine seam at the intersection where I can just run a little small bead of seam sealer down there and make it really probably almost invisible. Spending a little time here trying to get the corners to line up with the remains of the existing panel to see if I can get it fit in there nice and make it look like it was supposed to be there. Got it fit into place, and it either has or needs a little twist. It needs kind of rotated and twisted back. So I jumped on it with the torch, heated up here a little bit, and attempted to twist it into place. And after attempting it delicately, I warmed that thing up and whacked it with a hammer, got its attention, went right where I wanted it to go. There's more grinding. I'm getting the top surface of the car and the bottom surface of the car, and then I'll have the bottom of the patch panel. Those three surfaces need to be clean, and no epoxy primer. Welding, either spot welding or MIG welding, really doesn't like epoxy primer. So get everything nice and clean, and we'll be spraying some weld through primer on them and see how this does. All taped up. Weld through primer is not paintable, so got to keep it off of the areas that I want to put color on later. And over there, way across the shop, I have the new patch panel. Get it all painted up with primer. It's just a matter of waiting 20 minutes or so. The channel for the drip rail is just a little too narrow for the jaws of the spot welder, so I had to pry it out, but it did work well after I gave it a little extra room. Of course, then I have to straighten everything up back the way it was. I'm really pleased how it come out. Fit in there nice. And the spot welds are very unobtrusive. And it'll be a whole lot better lip than what it was before we started. Here I've got a set of dividers and set it for the height of the pinch weld. The panel I made just a little bit longer than what it would be, and it happened to have some blue dye on it from a previous panel I was making, so I scratched me a line and we'll grind it to fit. Well, to summarize today's work, I welded up those holes in there, took care of the pinholes here, took care of the areas down here in this corner, got the pinholes up here, and then I decided to see if I could do anything with this drip rail. I'd been debating and strategizing, so I tried this little corner, and it's going to come out okay. Get that in there, a little seam sealer. I used weld through primer between the layers. Everything should be fine. I'm going to make this piece here next. That should go in just like this one. This one back here, I'm still contemplating. Fortunately, this side over here doesn't need any work. I like that side. Yeah, I thought I was done, but I looked at the clock and there was still a little time left. So I went ahead and formed me up another angle piece, and we're going to get this piece of panel made. I won't get it welded in, but we'll see if we can get it constructed. I don't have a whole lot of experience with these shrinkers and stretchers, but they work really well what amazes me is how small amount of pressure I have to put on them. It just a light smack and it moves it. I almost invariably get it a little much. This is the curve that's right at the end that I'm working on now, but the long straight part has an arch to it. So marked a few spots here where I want to put the arch. See how it does. And like usual, I stretched it a little too much, but fortunately the blue one's a shrinker. And it takes the arch back out. And this is the panel. Got the curve at the end, got the arch in the middle. Everything's ready. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll weld it in on the next session. Thank you.